Knicks Some Noise, it's your man, Why Me. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Alright, this is episode number 7 of the 24-25 season. And I want to take the time to thank everybody who recently subscribed on the heels of episode 6. I greatly appreciate it. Right now, the channel is over 100 subscribers, so I appreciate that once again. Everybody tapping in. I'm trying to come through with more fresh takes, more fresh content about the Knicks, anything revolving basketball, sports, you know what I'm saying, lifestyle, whatever. But in particular, this show right now is Knicks Some Noise, definitely about the squad. Let's go, man. So we got the in-season tournament tonight. Plus, I want to get into a couple other things, as you can see on the thumbnail. So let me gather my thoughts real quick, man, because I don't really like what's going on, what's being talked about. But I gotta say it. This is my favorite player on the team when on the court. My man, Mitchell Robinson. And right now, it's looking kind of shaky for Mitch on the basis of him not coming back after a foot surgery. Having a bout with those feet as a big man could be very tough. It's in the NBA world, it's sort of, a bad thing, not really good thing to have a big man with feet problems. So my man Mitch, man, get well soon, get healthy, bro. We want to see you on the court. I personally want to see you on the court, getting those offensive rebounds, being a block nest, you know what I'm saying? Defensive rebounds and just creating havoc in the paint. You got to get well soon, bro. You know, my thing with Mitch has always been his choice of shoes on the court, not necessarily, not anything else having to do with his play. But I've always thought Mitchell Robinson should be a proponent of a high top sneaker. Listen, I'm a do a side by side. The Kobe 9 Elite is back out. The Kobe 9 Elite is back out. And I know Mitch liked those. Hopefully they come back out too with the Flyknit version that go all the way up. I forgot the name of those, but I don't want to digress too much. But again, you know what I'm saying? We need depth, and Mitch is not available. I feel like Mitchell Robinson is one of Thibodeau's favorite players, especially, when it comes to being defensive, athletic, being able to create havoc, offensive rebounding. But, at the end of the day, Mitchell Robinson has yet to see the floor this season. So he's trying to rehab, and I understand it could be a major concern for the organization to get this man back on the court. You know what I'm saying? At this point, after 6 seasons, he's played a little bit over 300 games. You know what I'm saying? And, at this point, we're definitely trying to get Mitch one of those key roles on our squad. When healthy, he's definitely a focal point and a big part of what we do offensively and also defensively. So he's expected to return in January. We'll see how this goes. I think that Tibbs is, very transparent about the support that Mitch is receiving. So at the end of the day, I feel like Mitch can come back healthy. We can be more of a force on the offensive and defensive end. Will Tibbs go that 2 big man rotation? It remains to be seen. But a Karl Anthony Towns, who's a great interior passer, with the Mitchell Robinson backing him up at the 5, would what I think would prove dividend worthy for us to be able to do. And also, I want to definitely say that, Mitch is one of those guys where he's very humble, he's very quiet, he's very reserved. He doesn't really do anything to hurt the team. He doesn't, garner technical fouls and have a disposition. He's a very team-friendly guy. So I think it would be a big issue and a big to-do if we happen to part ways with Mitch. So that's something I'm definitely not want to see. But it is a looming thing before the trade deadline. Will we need that depth? Because I feel like the injury to Mitchell Robinson shook up the team to begin with. It forced us to look at our big man situation and evaluate the height that we have. and the injury to Mitchell Robinson kind of exposed Julius Randle to having to play against bigger guys. It exposed Precious Achua to having to play against bigger guys, having to deal with guys that they wouldn't normally had to deal with. And with those injuries, it kind of exposed everybody, and it just kind of fell down the line, and we had to restructure our team. I believe in large part based on the injury to Mitchell Robinson. So, with that said, get well soon, Mitch. We definitely have an issue at the 5 spot on our bench, and Mitch is one of those guys where we really need in a starting role, and one of those guys that we really need as an integral force in what we do offensively and defensively, especially on the glass and creating block shots and fast break and transition baskets. So, like I said, get well soon, Mitch, and what I'm saying, come back healthy and ready to go. So we'll be back with a little bit more in the next segment. And then, we're going to keep it going and ultimately get to tonight's matchup versus the Orlando Magic. All right. It's Why Me. Knicks Some Noise. It's your man, Why Me. We back. Yeah. So I just wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to my man CP, Alex over at Knicks Fan TV. You know what I'm saying? Hooked me up with the water bottle and the Mando pack for winning the contest. I was the first one to answer and name the 4 teams whose name does not end in the letter S. So if you know those teams, all of the 4 NBA teams whose names does not end in the letter S, leave that in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the party in the chat going. And speaking of which, we will talk about one of those teams later. Hint, hint. So, and it's not our team, by the way. So the next thing I also want to talk about, as you can see, that talk that I had with y'all about the Ariel Hawkporty and Jericho situation, the Jericho Sims situation. I'm telling y'all, is not bearing fruit. My man Sims is out here and he's ready to play. Jericho Sims is becoming a force on defense as each game goes by. So shout out to Jericho Sims for keeping his head down, staying focused. He's been able to assert himself and slowly assert dominance on the defensive end. He's been a rim protector. Again, he does not do anything to hurt the team. So as long as that is the case and he does his job, this man will earn his minutes. This man has earned his minutes, and this man will play those minutes. So he has not done anything to hurt the team. Once again, he's doing everything to help make our team better. He's stepping outside of his role. He's playing a 5. He's doing the things that he's not necessarily inclined to do, but having to play, having to, back up Towns. He's one of the first people off the bench to back up Towns, especially when Towns happens to get into foul trouble. So big shout out to Jericho Sims, you know what I'm saying, for holding it down on the defensive ends. He's definitely one of the focal points in the thumbnail of this video. And I just want to show my man Sims much love. Ariel is going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play when, we're up, when the starters do their job and the first and second rotation does their job. It will give him the opportunity to play those pressure-free minutes. You can't put a rookie, no matter if he's played professional, and he's not here to save the franchise, y'all. So that's what you got to understand. Huck is not here to save the franchise. He's not here to put the team on his back and get us over the hump to the championship. So, therein is the fact that he's going to be a rotational player. He's a rookie in the NBA, and he will be a good to, valuable rotational player. Great? I don't know. That's to be determined. But playing with Tibbs, one thing you are going to be is prepared. One thing you are going to be is ready to play basketball. And so he continues to build his acumen. I think he continues to get ready. And, when the time comes, he'll be fine. But right now, this is Jericho's time. He's been having to play behind Mitch. He's been having to play behind Julius. He's even some degree having to play behind Achua. So right now, he can back up and be a legitimate backup in this league. He's already shown flashes, in a half court set of what he's able to do. He's already caught one of these for the season. So right now, we're just looking for Sims to, just to continue to develop and go higher, 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 and up on the evaluation chart. You know what I'm saying? But big shout out to number 20, man. He's doing his thing. Sims Hives definitely stand up. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Tibbs quotes and says he's really worked hard at it, and it meaning becoming better. And he's very athletic. He has great feet and making the right decision at the right time. His athleticism is through the roof. And Tibbs particularly loves athletic guys. You already know. And I mean, what better NBA player is there than the one that's, super athletic? There's gonna be, you're gonna have the great shooters, you're gonna have, what I'm saying, the great ball handlers and everything like that. But the athlete, that's the one that you can't really teach athleticism. You can't teach height and you can't teach athleticism. So those are the highly touted players. But obviously the ball handlers and the shooters are also what moves the needle. But at the end of the day, making the right decisions at the right time through the roof athleticism. It allows him to be a quick, saying person that can react to the ball. He can react quickly. And, those are the things that you need as far as from your 4 and your 5 man. So shout out to Sims doing what he got to do, ignoring the haters. Like I said, his role changes constantly. He's backing up different players. He might be the third to come off. He might be the second in rotation. So like he's been staying focused, man. And that's something that you can't like not put value on. A guy that can stay focused and always ready to play no matter what happens and with his role changes, you don't even really see his facial expression change. You know what I'm saying? He comes on the court, got the same facial expression. He get a foul, it might be like, oh, come on. But like, you never seen him arguing with the refs, yelling at the refs, clapping his hands, like getting demonstrative and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Sims, man. All right. And so, just moving right along, like I said, we here to really talk about the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the two undefeated teams in the NBA Cup in season tournament. So, it's your man Why. This is Knicks Some Noise. We'll be right back with the next and final segment of episode 7. Again, thank y'all very much for tuning in. Shout out to 100 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 100 more. Keep coming in, keep tapping in. I'm from New York, y'all. I'm from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? But I live in the South right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing the dad thing and just making sure my kids grow up straight, have a good life, and all those things. But like, yo, I gotta get to it, man. I gotta talk about my squad. I'm tapped in. I'm watching every game, replay gang, live show gang, Knicks fan TV. Shout out to all the Knicks creators and the Knicks content creators out there. And most importantly, shout out to the squad for giving us something to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a tumultuous few years. You know what I'm saying? Them 2000 teens was rough for us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Melo for coming through, holding it down. But them 2000 teens was rough for us, man. And them early 20s was rough for us. Them COVID years was rough for us. You know what I'm saying? Them early Julius years was rough for us, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a long time coming to be able to have this amount of, what I'm saying, momentum and things like that and expectations for the team. And it's definitely a blessing. And shout out to the Knicks front office and all those guys who made those moves, you know what I'm saying, to get us those players, man. And shout out to the past players, the players that laid the foundation, i.e. the Randalls, the RJs, the IQs, the Mooks, you know what I'm saying? Those 2000 players, the Reggie Bullocks, the getting cooked by Trey Young, you know what I'm saying? The ISO Zos and the Alfred Paytons, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all those guys, the Emmanuel Moutiers of the world, you know what I'm saying, that paved the way, you know what I'm saying, to give us this platform. And shout out to all the people, obviously Knicks fan TV, shout out to all them cats who was getting up for every game to talk about this, you know what I'm saying? While a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, they ain't had a time, but we gonna be back right to it. You know what I mean? Welcome back. All right. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. The NBA Cup matchup tonight. New York Knicks versus the Orlando Magic. And if this video falls on you prior to the game, I got something to say. We need to come out smoking. All right. We don't need to come out no lackadaisical energy effort at all. We need to come out going straight to the basket. The Orlando Magic is a physical team. Orlando Magic is a young, hungry team with something to prove. All right. And those two things are a recipe for disaster for veteran teams, for teams that take a little bit longer to get started, i.e., the New York Knicks. So we have to, it is imperative that we match the energy of this young team. I believe, I believe that we have the ability to win this game handedly. Okay. And the reason why is because we have the ability to shoot threes and we're a better shooting team than the Orlando Magic. However, if we get into a battle where we're playing from behind, that to me is going to cause an issue. So the reason why I want us to start fast and to start at a normal aggressive tone is so that as far as when the tempo comes and the tempo gets established, we're not playing from behind. And the game will be called accordingly if we're not playing from behind. So if we allow let me give you an example. If we allow a team to get out on us 10-2, 9-4, as far as making threes. If we allow a team to hit a couple threes and early foul, they've established the tempo by then. So whenever that time happens, in the referee's mind, we're fouling and we can't guard them. Does that make sense? So the referee is saying to him or herself that the Knicks are going to have to do more to stop them because they're not able to. And so every hand swipe, every, contest is going to be that much more heightened in terms of the contact because we haven't been able to establish our offense first. And it probably won't be readjusted in terms like the referees fouling and things like that won't be recalibrated until we establish ourselves, until we reestablish our tempo. And so that's the reason why we can't have slow starts, because then we get into a 3-point shooting matchup or we need a comeback matchup. Franz is averaging 23 points. And he's the one, that is being talked about more than Mo. Like Franz is the younger one. So he's the one that's, having to prove himself. He's the one that's coming off the rookie deal. Like, why did we give him this money? So he's that one. Jalen, averaging 25.4, he's steady. He does what he does. But there are so many bodies and bigger guards that they could throw at Jalen and more young and athletic. Now, the key thing to this matchup, no Paolo, no Banchero, and that's where I don't want to get the team to fall into, oh, they're not playing with Paolo, we could take our foot off the gas. The Wagner boys is out here. Jalen Suggs is ready to play. They got a nice 2 big man matchup with Bataze and my other cat with the goggles, Smith. Isaac is there. They got height. So we're going to need everything that we got. And this is the thing. No Precious, no Mitch. Our tallest players are Anthony Towns. And I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on what happens. But we got Sims and we got Towns. They going to have to hold it down. I don't know. Will we see Huck Porter? But we're definitely going to need some athletic wing defense. So we might even see Pop. If there's enough rhythm that we can establish, we might get a Pac sighting. And what I want Mikhail to do is not settle, because he's going to have to deal with one of them Wagner boys as well as OG. Josh Hart, Jalen Suggs, Then Jalen will probably guard Jalen. Jalen Suggs will probably guard Jalen Brunson. But Josh Hart, Jalen Suggs on the other end. So Josh gonna have to pick him up. OG got one of the Wagner boys. And the town call gonna get the other one. Mikhail, you floating, but you're gonna have to pick up the point guard, Cole or whoever else is running point. And listen, man, we need to come out gunning. We need to come out gunning and go up on them fast. If we could go up on them fast, then I think that that's all of that's more confidence that we need. But the ability to go up on a team like that fast, it puts them out of sorts because they're a young team, and then maybe that could be an attribute to their frustration, and it just ultimately takes them out of the game. But other than that, I'm not really seeing like no blowouts and nothing like that unless we just like come out like crazy and then just bang 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 hitting threes and whatever the case may be. But let me slow down on that and take it a step back. I'm not really seeing us blowing them out, but what I am seeing is us being able to control the game. I am seeing us being able to control the game from the paint. I'm able to, see us control the game from like a experience perspective. But these boys play hard and they undefeated in the in-season tournament just like we are. So this is a win or go home situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let that sink in. This is a win or go home situation. And so with that being said, listen, they're relatively healthy, with the exception of Paolo. They relatively healthy. They 15-7. They first in the Southeast. No Gary Harris, no Paolo. No Gary Harris, no Paolo. For the Knicks, no Precious, no Mitch. That to me like hurts more. No Precious and no Mitch. Like Precious and Mitch, we dogging them. But they got some size. They got Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr. That's my man. I rock with him. They got Caldwell Pope who could play D. Goga Bigtaze, decent defender. You know what I'm saying? But let's see who comes out on Jalen Brunson. They got a 6'7" guard named Anthony Black. Jalen Suggs is 6'5". Franz and Mo. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how they come out on Jalen. What type of pressure they might want to try to put on him. You know what I'm saying? What type of pressure they might want to put on Jalen. And Jalen just got to win the matchups, man. Get to the line. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure we knocking down free throws when the game is on the line. That's also the most important part, too. Like, if the game comes down to it, we got to make sure we hitting our free throws. You know what I'm saying? So that young physical approach that we're going to have to take with this team might wear us down toward the end of the game. But, we just going to have to lock in, take that deep breath at the line, and just knock them free throws down. And the difference in the game would be the shooting, particularly the three-point shooting and the free throws, but we can't foul them. You know what I'm saying? We cannot foul them because then that'll give them more confidence to shoot the basketball. So I think the big thing would be containing the Wagner boys. You know what I'm saying? Mo and Franz. I think the big thing will be containing them. Those are their primary scorers. Paulo's out. So, we just need to contain the Wagner boys. And I'm predicting a win for our team. You already know what that be like. And we just one step closer to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Them tickets in Vegas is looking like something. I took a look. Them tickets in Vegas is looking like something, man. A little change on you. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the Vegas, boys. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that money. We favorited the win 53% to 47% according to ESPN polls. But again, we can't play that Utah Jazz type of offense in the first 15 minutes of the game. That's going to prove to be a disaster for us. We are 3-2 in our last 5 games. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe we can feature Mikhail to start off with. He's coming off a 30-plus game against the New Orleans Pelicans at home. We're still at home. You know what I'm saying? So shake that Todd Bridges off, bro, and let's go. You know what I mean? We need shooting from Mikal, and we need consistent energy and rim running from Josh Hart, and just that same old rim protection from Jericho. And Carl Anthony Towns definitely has to win that matchup versus Mo. He has to. Like, there's no, for me, like Mo is a creative scorer. As a big man, he's a very creative scorer, and so is his brother. But Towns is not that creative of a scorer, but he can score. He's big, he has the finesse, and he has the ability to finish. But those hook shots and things like that, the low intensity moves are not going to work against this team. So he has to make powerful, deliberate moves to the basket. The low intensity finesse moves may not be something that you want to go to versus these cats. And so they got a lot of size. Again, Isaac, Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner. Like they got three guys that they could throw at you versus us being out Precious and versus being out Mitch. You know what I mean? And so let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. We win in this game. I'm gonna say 118, 118, 114. It's gonna be a tight game. 118, 114. New York over the Magic. We're gonna stay undefeated for the NBA Cup. This is group play as well. You know what I'm saying? They in our group. So we're gonna stay undefeated after we handle business. We're gonna go to 13-8. And we're gonna go to 7-2 at home. We are protecting home, so that's a good thing. Got a nice home record, so the fans is getting what they want, and they giving the away fans some of what they want too. But at home they protecting the home court, and that's really what is really all about. You know what I'm saying? Come playoff times, having home court advantage and things like that proves to be worthy. So Mikal coming off a 31-point game. You know what I'm saying? We took care of home. We took care of the Pelicans. We just got to keep the momentum going. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the momentum going. Josh Hart, field goal percentage is through the roof, almost 60%. Jalen Brunson is averaging nearly 8 dimes and 25 points a game. You know what I'm saying? As a team, we're averaging about 118 points and nearly 28 assists a game. We're averaging nearly 43 rebounds a game. So we just need to play defense, box out, and just handle and wear the young team down. Wear the young boys down, and we're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Wear them young boys down, we're going to be all right. Play physical and play fast and early. You know what I'm saying? Go in a hurry and let these cats know what we doing out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let Clyde down. All right? This is your man, Why Me? This has been another fantastic episode of Knicks Some Noise. Yo, like, hold up. This is your man, Why Me? This has been another fantastic episode of Knicks Some Noise, episode 7. I want to thank y'all for 100 subscribers, and I appreciate the love, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep doing this. We may give you a post game reaction. We may give you a post and like we're going to figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Make this work, make this thing work with the schedule. You already know. Man. Shout out to my boys, you know what I'm saying? Knicks Some Noise, the group chat. You know what I'm saying? This is Knicks Some Noise, the YouTube show. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Everybody out there, y'all already know what it is. It's your man, Why Me? Hold up. Y'all already know what it is. It's your man, Why Me? Peace.